What's going on? What's going on? Greetings, 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 and grand rising to each and every one of you, man. Wagwan. This is your brother Chief American, man. What's going on? What's going on? Listen, we're about to get into a build right now. So trust me, y'all want to be a part of this build, okay? So if you're not gonna catch the live, I suggest you share this because this is a jewel right here. Like all the videos that I do, you know what I'm saying? But this one right here, I'm telling you, I'm about to go in. Okay. So let me make sure I have audio on Facebook. Give me 1 second. 1 second. I'm telling you, I'm about to go in. All right, cool. Yeah, we got audio on Facebook. All right, boom. Let me make sure my charger is close on my phone. Hold up. All right. Listen, as I'm doing this, do me a favor, please. Go ahead and just kind of put in the comments, where where you're looking at this live from, where you tuning in from, so I could give you a shout out. Okay, go ahead and put it in the comment. Go ahead and put it in the description. Wherever you want to put it is fine. But I'm telling you, I'm about to go in. Now, first things first. I want to acknowledge, all our ancestors. I acknowledge all my ancestors, you know what I mean? But I always glorify the righteous ones. You feel me? But I acknowledge all of them because each and every one of them is important to the journey. You dig? Whether it's the righteous or the unrighteous ones. You feel me? So with that being said, I honor them. And I always thank them for guiding and protecting me. Okay, so we have Montreal, Canada in the building. We have Chi-Town in the building. We got Ebony. We have All True for You. All True for You. We got Coach Gang. What's the word? What's the word, Lineage? All right, what's going on? Okay, so we're about to get in. Now, like I said before, give thanks to the ancestors, you know what I mean? And I want to make my disclaimer first. This video, whether you call it a video, a lesson, a message, it don't matter, right? This video is strictly for knowledge purposes. Strictly for knowledge purposes. Anything and everything I say in this video, I don't want you to believe anything that I say. I'm going to repeat this. I'm coming close to the camera. Okay. Everything and anything I say in this video, I don't want you to believe anything I say. Reason being, if I ask you to believe me, I'm lying to you because in the word believe is the word lie. Okay. So don't believe anything that I say. And this is strictly for knowledge purposes. I'm invoking my First Amendment right because when you start speaking certain type of language and you teaching certain type of knowledge, these so-called powers there be, the gatekeepers, always want to censor your video or say it's a community strike against their policies and all that. And listen, man, stop the nonsense. All right, stop it. That's why I have to make my disclaimer. Okay, so that's why I'm saying all of this. Big up to my sister Valerie Akins. What's going on? My brother Chief Blackbird White Tip. What's going on, brother? All right, so let's get into this. What I'm going to do is this. I'm really going to dive in and hone in the whole concept of the idea of being American Indian opposed to being Native American. Now, I'm not going to say versus. This is not a battle. And that's why I keep telling my people, we don't have to battle nobody to identify who we are. We don't have to battle nobody to claim who we are. You feel me? We don't have to battle nobody. All we have to do is stand on who we are. However, that's why I titled the video American Indian in contrast to, you feel me? The Native American. Okay. So I think I made an error in the title because I'll be so excited when I'm doing these videos. I never plan these things, I rise and the ancestors come to me and say, hey, Chief, you know what? Boom. We're going to send you a message. This is what you do with it and do what you do. So I got to adjust the title just a little bit. But first, I would like to acknowledge a brother, Chief Maurice Black Wolf. All right. He did a video on TikTok and he pretty much covered a lot of what I'm going to talk about. But he had his own perspective on it, which is kind of similar, the same, right? But I'm going to give my own rendition. Another reason why is because the people that's subscribed to my channel is different from his. So I want to bring the message to the people who are subscribed to my channel, particularly the people who look like me. That's the predominant subscribers to my channel. You feel me? But this knowledge is for everybody because people got to know the truth. So the first thing we are going to do is this, right? And I have some notes so we could go along. Okay, we could go along. All right, and we could keep things in perspective. Okay, first things first. We know that what America means. We're going to start off with the foundation of America. So we are going to hold on for 1 second. Let me see here if we could go. And we know that America, we don't have to go look at the etymology of the word America. America is a continent, and America consists of North and South America. Central America is a concept that was recently created. Okay, but the idea of it being central, okay, Central America has changed from different eras in time. Okay, depends on the era. Okay, right now, the era that we're in right now, Central America is the United States because that's where everybody come to do commerce. Now, I'm going to put y'all onto game, okay? And that's why I said this is strictly for knowledge purposes. I'm going to give y'all, this is our story, okay? A lot of the perspective came from his story, but within his story, we have to be able, we need discernment in able to go into his story and pull our story, okay? And then give a vivid picture of who we are, what we are, and know that this is our birthright. Okay, so when we are talking about colonial times, there were different concepts of Central America. At one point, Central America was pretty much within Hispaniola. We're talking about Haiti, Dominican Republic, Cuba, Puerto Rico. All those places were kind of like central because that's where the majority of the commerce was being done. The portals, okay, and a portal is a port where you enter into. So hence the ports were the main ports where they came in 1493. That was considered the central hub, okay? And then due to further colonization, when more of the conquistadors, the Spaniards, started moving more inland, so to speak, right? They started moving into what we call South America. Then that became the central hub of commerce. So it became Central America. You dig? And then once more of North America, okay, started, it was being infiltrated, okay, and the United States, so to speak, was the last stand in being colonized, all right, by the Europeans. Then it became the final central location for commerce. So even if they call Central America, that was in a certain time period. The current Central America is the United States, where everybody's coming to do commerce. Hence, central means where 2 points, 3 points. It doesn't matter how many different factions coming together in a centralized location for whether it's commerce or different purposes. I just wanted to kind of break that down. Okay, now we got it out of the way. We know what America is, a continent, South, North, or North, South America, but it's only one America. Due to colonization, they broke it down in North and South, and that was the first step towards divide and conquer, separating the continent into two. You never hear of North Africa, South Africa, East Africa, West Africa, going against each other. It's just Africa. You see what I'm saying? So with the Americas, it was a tactic for divide and conquer. Okay, cool. We are going to get into American Indian, because when these colonizers came here in 1492, and of course we have already established who the colonizers were. Now, for those of you who don't, give me 1 second, please. For those of you who don't have the copy of my book, Gene Insists to Reevaluation, you want to get this. This is a must read. So you want to go to the website that's displayed on my left-hand corner. It might be right. It might be your right. Okay. That says www.myniji.com. And you want to pick up at least, I have like about 11 books on my site, right? However, you definitely want to pick up this one, because this one dives into the annals, the historical annals of the Americas, and it's giving you a lot of truth and facts. All right. So definitely you want to get this. All right. So with American Indian, when the colonizers came in 1492, 1493, whatever year that is, or it was, they did not encounter or call the people Native Americans. Now we are going to go into the different meanings or definitions of the word native. And we're really going to put that word in perspective. We are going to break it down, okay? Because a lot of us that's stepping into the know as to who we are, we tend to differentiate ourselves from Native Americans and saying American Indian is not the same. In essence, that is true. It depends on the context. Now, in the context of these people, I'm talking about the so-called Native Americans of today, it is completely different from American Indian. However, in the original etymology of the word native, they are not native. Man, listen, I'm going to break this down for y'all today, okay? They are not native in the original sense of the word, the etymology of the word. They became native much later. And I'm going to break that down to you and explain to you the difference, okay, or the energy that the word took on from a different time period, okay? Because when you look at words, okay, the words transcend, okay? They develop, and sometimes they literally stray far away from its original meaning and context because words evolve. And native is one of the words that evolved. American Indian also evolved. You did. And it evolved as being Native American. Okay? Just wanted to clarify that. All right, let me get back to my notes. So we're going to focus on, mainly right now, we're going to focus on the Native Americans. Native Americans, how did Native Americans became? Now, there's a theory, and a theory, if you don't know what a theory is, look it up. There's a theory that Native Americans came from the into the Americas through the Bering Strait. That is not true. That is a theory. It is not true. Just like how they said we came from Africa. The African theory that life originated in Africa, it's a theory. It's not true. Okay, so Native Americans did not come from the Bering Strait over 15, 20,000 years ago. That is a lie, a complete lie, and missed education of the educational system. And it was done intentionally. We are really going to get to the foundation of this Native American saga. All right. Now, for those of you who would know that Native American, regardless of whether they say they are the first Americans or not, it is a general consensus that they all came from Siberia. The majority of them came from Siberia, okay? But all of them came from Europe, okay? All right, cool. That's a fact, because even they themselves, they tell you they came through the Bering Strait. Now, that's them telling that story. Okay, some may argue, well, Chief, it was 15,000, it was 10,000. That's besides the point. The bottom line is they came, and they all agreed that they came. So we could all agree with that. Okay, but let me show you how the timeline was changed to perpetuate the lie. We are going to go back into Russia. Where's Siberia at? Siberia is in Russia. And where's Russia at? Russia is located in Europe and Asia. So they are Eurasians. Now, based on their own confession, they came from Siberia through the Bering Strait. We could still debate and argue the timeline. We are not going to focus on the timeline right now. Let's deal with the facts. What can we prove? What can we prove is, without a doubt, They themselves said they came from Siberia. The timeline, we'll debate that at some other time, some other video. Okay? Good. How did all this come together? We are going to go into Alaska. Alaska is the key. Alaska was once colonized by Russia. Okay? Alaska was once colonized by Russia, and then the United States bought Alaska from Russia. Okay? Let me show you some information now. I just want to give you a little bit of all of this. Okay? Let me see. Russia. All right. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Let me show you exactly how these natives became to be in the position that they're in today. All right. Here we go. Let this populate. Okay, cool. Russia colonized Alaska in the 18th century for the fur trade. All right. You had the French trappers, which, during the fur trade, and you had the Russian trappers, you had the Dutch trappers, you had the German trappers, you had all sorts of trappers coming into the Americas, because you have to go back into the history of Europe. And that's why in the book, Gene Ancestry Evaluation, I didn't just take you into the original history or story of the Americas. I took you into Europe to show you exactly what was happening simultaneously, okay, with the history of America. So you were able to put 2 and 2 together so it would all be coherent. Because if you don't know that story of Europe, then you will be confused by the American story, and it just wouldn't make any sense to you. So during that time of the colonial period, as we speak, okay, Europe was kind of like coming, from a devastation of the Black Plague that literally wiped out over 50 million, some people estimate to 100 million Europeans. So therefore, it wasn't just the plagues, it was diseases, to the point where they were practicing cannibalism. That whole concept of cannibalism, talking about when they came into the Americas, people was eating people, that's not true. That is their culture. Because why? After the Black Plague, things were so bad, crops couldn't grow. So all the criminals that were even in jail, after they died, people would be waiting outside the jail houses, waiting for the bodies to be thrown into a corpse field, and they would be eating that to stay alive. Now, I'm not telling you that's an opinion. I'm giving you facts. But please do your due diligence and don't believe anything that I tell you. So it begs the question, if Europe was going through such devastation and the financial stability of Europe, it wasn't established as they would want you to think, how in heaven's name could they have afforded all this massive 12 million point something slaves coming from Africa? It just doesn't add up. Another question you should ask yourself is this. Okay, another question you should ask yourself is this. How is that over 12 point something million slaves from Africa, plus the indigenous people in the Americas, and a small handful of so-called Europeans enslaved all these people? Somebody let it make sense. You see, when you use, again, discernment, when you use common sense, because you see, common sense is not so common anymore. It just doesn't make sense. And there are no archaeological records to show that that ever took place. However, I could show you proof that over 12 point something million Slavs, because the original word for slave came from the word Slav. And the only Slavs or slaves that came into the Americas came into the 1800s through Ellis Island, and some of them through Los Angeles. The only recorded slaves. Of course, they're going to twist it and tell you, oh, what is indentured servants? Yeah, okay. But like I said, don't believe anything that I say. Oh, don't believe anything that I say. So let us go back to how all of this came into play with these so-called natives. And we're going to break this down today. Okay, Russia colonized Alaska in the 18th century because all these countries and territories, because of what they were going through from the Black Plague, the devastation, they had to rebuild. The Renaissance period, they had to rebuild. They wanted to step back into the golden age. Okay, so when they heard of the land of milk and honey, that's right, you heard me, the land of milk and honey, they was like, okay, now we got to get a piece of this. We have to get a piece of this. So that's when all these migrants started coming into the Americas. They started migrating into the Americas. But none of this could have happened without treaties or covenants or agreements. And what were these treaties? What were these agreements? What were the commercial terms? Trust had to be built. And when I say trust, what do I mean? Companies had to be created. That's why the takeover was on paper and it was not physical. We never lost a physical war as the American Indians. You feel me? So companies were created. First, it started with the West Indian Company. That was the holding company because the entire Americas was called the West. We are all West Indians. That's why we are called West Indians. Okay, there are only two types of Indians. You have the West Indians and the East Indians. I don't know if y'all ready for this. All right. You have two types of Indians, the West Indians and the East Indians. Hold up. Whoa. What's going on right there? Hold on. Give me 1 second, please. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Whoa. All of a sudden, another video just started playing. Whoa. What's going on here? Hold on, my peoples. Hold on. This is crazy. Wow. Man, listen, how is this possible? I don't know. Man, listen. Anyway, I'm not even going to stress this, but another video that I didn't even play. I didn't touch anything, just started playing in the back. I'm going to leave that one alone. Okay? So anyway, like I was saying, right? We are going to go back. We connecting the whole Native American thing. So I was actually showing you the whole joint of Russia because that's where the real invasion started, the mass migration of Europeans. Okay, here we are. And I'm going to take my time. Some of the information may seem redundant, but it's okay. It's all right. Okay, we're going to get into this. I know, right, Sister Valerie AI, right? They're working on me right now, but it's all good. So check this out. Russia colonized Alaska in the 1800s. I already gave the history on that, why that was happening and why they wanted to come into the land of milk and honey, to rebuild their economy. Okay. So everybody wanted a piece of the Americas. Everybody wanted a piece of her. And the first permanent Russian outpost was established in 1787. So that was the major inception of Siberians into the Americas via Alaska, my brothers and sisters. Okay, the Russian American company, like I told y'all before, everything had to start with a company because it was commerce. Our people, the original people, okay, got into commerce with these people. So it first started with the West Indian Company. And like I was saying earlier, or just a little while ago before I was kind of like rudely interrupted by this video of mine that just played, okay, out of thin air. But anyway, it started off with the West Indian Company. So the entire Americas, that was the company. But then they had to create subsidiaries as the Dutch company, the Virginia company. I hope you see where I'm going with this. But the West Indian Company was the holding company. So now here another company was established where Russia created an outpost. In 1784, the Russian American Company, a Russian trading monopoly, also established colonies in Alaska during the 19th century. So as per the agreement, Russian citizens, aka Siberians, whether it's Eurasians, West Siberia, East Siberia, it doesn't matter. The bottom line is the Asians, we are going to generalize, the Asians were subjects of Russia. And hence, Russia brought their people to be in charge of that company. Now, you could even look it up on Google. I'm not even going to get into that. You could even look it up on Google and see where these Asians were in Alaska picking cotton and working in the fields. Please do not believe anything that I say. Go prove me wrong. Go prove me wrong and do a video, tag me with it. You got my permission. Hey, Chief, you was lying on that. And if I'm incorrect, I will step up and I'll apologize for giving wrong information. All right? But like I said, don't believe anything that I tell you. So that happened in 1784. That's when this so-called Native Americans came into full force into the Americas. Before the 1700s, these people wasn't here in these huge numbers claiming to be American Indians. Before that time, the only American Indian that was known was the so-called Negro in the Americas. Negro de terra, Negroes of the land. Facts over feelings. All right, let us continue. Let us proceed. We got work to do. We got work to do. All right. Now, where is Russia located? I've already said that, but I'm going to show you the visual of the location of Russia. Let this populate. Russia is on the continent of Europe and Asia. So therefore, anyone from Russia is considered to be a Eurasian. You see where the term Eurasian came from? I'm giving y'all some sauce right now. I'm giving y'all the juice right now. And not the juice that's going to poison your blood. No, the juice that's going to build you and give you that knowledge. Know the ledge. I'm taking you on the ledge with the awareness of what you are doing right now. Therefore, I'm giving you the knowledge. So anyone from Russia, I don't care what part of Russia you're from, you are a Eurasian. You are European and you are also Asian. Okay? Let us proceed. Keep that in mind. Eurasians are Europeans. Keep that in mind because that's very, very important to this lesson right here. Don't believe anything that I say because if I ask you to believe me, I might just be lying to you because in the word believe is the word lie. Let us proceed. Okay? Check this out. Check this out. When did the United States buy Alaska? This is very important. Let us get into this lineage. Let us get into this. The United States purchased Alaska from Russia on March 30th, okay? 7 days after my solar return. My solar return is March 23rd. Man, I'm telling y'all, we're about to do this, okay? And that happened in 1867 for $7.2 million, less than 2 cents per acre. Now, while we here, I want to show y'all something, okay? All right, the original, what I was going to show y'all the original king and queen of Hawaii, but I don't want to mix up this lesson. You see what I'm saying? Because the original king and queen of Hawaii around that time were people of color, but we don't have to get into that right now. So let me just stay on point because I get so excited, I get distracted. Okay. But anyway, Russia sold the United States Alaska, but remember, Alaska is not in Russia. We just got to make that clear. Alaska is on the American continent. However, because of what happened in Europe, and they were migrating to look for opportunities to rebuild Europe, they were fighting wars, and then Russia happened to be the stronghold in Alaska, and they colonized Alaska through the company. okay, through the company. So obviously deals were made with the original people and Russia. Don't get it twisted. Our people, okay, got in bed with these migrants, and there is a reason for that and why it happened. And I explained that in the book. Okay. So when Russia sold Alaska back to the US, what does it all mean? What does it all mean? It means that now Alaska becomes a territory once more, not just in the Americas, but a territory of the United States. We have to differentiate between the United States and America, like I keep reiterating, because a lot of people, we have gotten used to allowing the United States to identify itself as America. We, as the true Americans, we need to stand up and debunk that every chance that we get. Because when people are calling for the destruction of America, they're calling for the destruction of our motherland. And it's all due because of ignorance. And we don't realize the power of words and the things that we allow people to say, the things that we accept from people when they say that. America could never be destroyed, but the United States will be taken down. Now, this is not an act of violence or a threat. No, it is just prophecy, because the United States is not America. So we have to stop allowing, well, we can't stop allowing people to, but when people make these statements, we have to correct them. Whether they accept it or not, it doesn't matter. The bottom line is we are standing on the shoulders of our ancestors, and we are the landlords of the land. And as the landlords, we have a right to protect our birthright and not allowing curses to be to be inflicted on our birthright. Hold on. Okay? Not allow these words to inflict curses on our birthright due to ignorance. Okay? Correct people. Keep that in mind. All right? Now, where are we going to go next? The next place we're going to go, as I'm breaking this down, let me get to my notes, because like I said, I want to stay on point. So the connection of Europeans coming into Alaska, aka Eurasians, aka Native Americans, and in their own words, not from me, they agree that they came from Siberia. But the only problem is the timeline was changed. The timeline was altered with to replace the original people, the aka the Negroes of America. It was all part of a big plan. Okay? It was all part of a big plan. So when you go back and you start looking at the earlier Eurasians, what were their complexions? Their complexions were much more of a darker hue. Well, why is that, you may ask, Chief? It is because they were mixing with the original Negro. And that's why I tell people, man, listen, man, don't get me hyped. Let me pull up something for you real quick. Although it wasn't part of the lesson, but I'm going to pull it up. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I could find this. Where did I put this? I know I got it somewhere. Give me 1 second, please. All right. Please bear with me, because I want to give you as much information as possible so you know exactly what I'm talking about. Hold on for a second. Nisi, what's up? Nisi, what's up? I'm on a live. Yeah, just a regular. All right, thanks. Nah, just a self-stamp envelope. All right, thank you. All right. My apologies, Lineage. My apologies. All right. I had my niece running an errand for me. Man, listen, give me 1 second. Let me see if I can pull it up. Now, if I sent it to myself in an email. If I can't pull it up, then I'll just explain to you guys what I mean. Okay, and what I'm talking about. If I can't pull it up. Apparently I can't at this time. But I emailed myself a picture of what the so-called earlier Native American looks like. And everybody always posting these pictures on Facebook. You know what? I'm going to email it to myself again because it's on my mind, and I'm not going to I'm not going to flow without me, addressing that. Okay? So I'm going to email it to myself again. I apologize for the brief interruption here, okay? But it's going to be on my mind, so I'm going to email it to myself again. Okay, here we go. Let me go back to Facebook, make sure I'm on the live. All right, cool. I just emailed that to myself, and let's go back to that, get that email, because I really want to show you that picture. And I'm gonna plead to my people. And when I say my people, I'm talking about the so-called Negroes, the so-called Black people of all the Americas. Stop. Okay? Stop doing this. And I'm going to tell you exactly what I mean when I ask you to stop doing this. Let me go to my email. Because you are disrespecting our original ancestors. Ay, Dios mío. Sent. Okay. All right. Let me go into that inbox. Where is it at? See, I tell you, man, it's always something. Always something. But it's okay though. We're gonna get through it. All right, here's the picture. All right, good. Okay. Let me see if I could get this picture to you and show you. All right. All right, so I downloaded the picture because I really want to show you this picture. And thank you. I appreciate that, System Mahogany. Yeah. Because I really want to show this. I really want to show it. Okay. Let me go ahead and pull up this picture in my downloads. I just downloaded it. All right, downloads and open up because it's important. There we go. All right, perfect. And I'm gonna plead. I'm gonna plead to my brothers and sisters. Stop disrespecting our ancestors like this. Where is I have it somewhere. Is that it right here? Let me see. Entire screen. No window. Boy, what is going on here? All right, share. And normally I do this faster, but anyway, let me see if it's going to allow me to share the screen. Click that. All right, here we go. Let me know if y'all could see the picture, please. All right, let me know if you could see the picture. Facebook. Let me know if you could see the picture. A simple yes or no in the chat. I'm not sure if you guys seeing the picture though. Can anybody on Facebook let me know if you guys seen the picture? Yes. Okay, perfect. All right. So Sister Valerie said yes. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks for confirming that. Okay. Now, you see these people right here? And sometimes they come a little bit darker. They are not the original people. They are not the original people. These people are not our people. I'm going to reiterate that. I'm begging y'all on Facebook, YouTube, wherever you at, on Instagram, on TikTok, stop confusing these people with the Negro. These people were the first migration, the first generation of Native Americans. You see, y'all got to know the difference, man. And I'm starting to get hype right now. You got to know the difference. They are the first migration of Euro-Asians into the Americas. That's why they are of a darker hue. They look completely different from the so-called natives you see today. And there's a reason for that. And I'm going to explain all of that to you. When these people came here through the companies, through contracts, as slaves, indentured servants, whatever you want to call them, okay? They mixed in with our people. Well, you may ask, Chief, why? I'm going to get into all of that. Okay, I'm going to get into all of that. But I'm showing you, these people stop saying that they are the first people or they were the first immigration border patrol with guns in 1492. Stop the nonsense, man. See, y'all pissing me off. And I don't like to get pissed off. Okay? So let me get back to that. Okay, can I zoom in? Can I zoom in? Okay, all right, hold up. You know what? Let me see if I could just find it on YouTube, man. I'm not on YouTube, on Google. See if I can find a picture of you on Google. Because I think that would be easier because some people can't see it. All right. The earlier Native Americans. The earlier Native Americans. Let me see if I could find images of them. All right, cool. I got a picture. Exactly what I'm talking about. Let me show it to you now. Boom. All right. Perfect. Let me go ahead and share my screen now. Because I really want this to sink in. Sister Valerie, I got y'all. I got y'all right now. Right now, as we speak. Boom. I should have done that in the first place. Okay. We on the History Channel right now. Okay. Can y'all see this? Let it populate. All right. No, can y'all see this? Let me know if you could see it because I'm not seeing it on my phone. So let me know if this is better. All right, here we go. Tell you, boy. Tell you, Satan is busy, but it's okay though. And all Satan means is the adversary. When I say Satan, I just mean the adversary. I'm not talking about a man in hell with a pitchfork. All right, perfect. You see these people right here? And I'm thank y'all for being so, understanding. You know what I mean? I know it could get a little, but I just have to make sure I get my point clear. These people are not us. And stop saying and stop showing them as your ancestors. They have, yes, our ancestors' DNA in them, but they're not us. Okay? They're not the original people. They are Eurasians, the original native people. They were the first generation of native people that came into the Americas via these companies as indentured servants or slave. It depends on how you look at it. Some of them may have started off as indentured servants, and after the 7 years, the contract was reneged because the so-called powers never honored contracts. So then they turned them into slaves. But they were all Europeans. They are all cousins. They were just the darker versions because they got mixed in with our people. Okay? So when you're showing pictures, oh, well, this one looked like such a... No, they don't look like you. They may have some type of... You don't look like them. They may have some type of resemblance of us, but they are not us. So let us get this straight. Stop the nonsense with posting that those are the original people of the Americas. You are very disrespectful, and I don't respect that. Okay? Cool. Let us proceed. We're gonna shut all of this down. Okay? We're gonna shut it down. So now that you know what happened in Russia, now that you know, and that you know how all of this came into play. Okay, how all this came into play. It was through companies, through commerce, through business. And all these Native Americans you see today, ask yourself this question. Why don't they look like the same people that I just showed you? You know why? Because they had to intermarry lighter and lighter and lighter into more Europeans. That's why the Native Americans today look like the so-called pale people, because they're all the same people. They're all the same people. And I'll explain to you why our people intermarried with all the migrants that came here. I'll explain that to you. Okay? So, just for the record, Native Americans, as in what it means today, and American Indian are complete different people. They are not the same people. American Indians were met here. Native Americans became subjects here. They were migrants that came here. All right. And there's a reason why this entire landmass is called Indian country and not Native American country. I don't think y'all heard me though. I don't think y'all heard me on that one. This is why it's called Indian country and not Native country. Like I said, I'm not sure if y'all heard me. If y'all just heard that, go ahead and drop some sevens in the chat real quick while I turn this page, because I have to stick to my notes, because you know me, I'm going to be all over the place. Okay? So this is why the Americas is called Indian country and not Native American country. This land mass belonged to the Indians and not the natives. What do you know I chat about? Don't get me started. Okay, so this is Indian country, not Native country. This is why Obama had to come on the scene. I'm going to repeat that. That is why Obama had to come on the scene and change American Indian to Native. Obama is a sellout. Obama was not my president. Obama is not my people. But that's just my opinion, though. Okay, I take full responsibility for what I'm saying right now. Obama wasn't my president. He was not one of my people. He sold my people. Okay? All right. When we look at these native reservations were the people that came from Alaska, and they put them on reservations. Okay, they put them on reservations. Well, Chief, why, you may ask? Because it was an extension of the corporation to run the business, but they were not the ones in charge. That's why they are not the ones in charge today. So you have the casinos, you have the Bureau of Indian Affairs, all that was set up as a corporation, part of the corporation. Because now Indian country is now European country. Oh my goodness. Are y'all getting me? Indian country is now European country, or the country of the descendants of European. Well, Chief, how can you prove that? All right, cool. Let us go to Noah 1828 dictionary, because you see, I'm going to put everything into, hold on for 1 second. Let me go pull that up. Noah Webster's 1828 dictionary. Now we're going to get into all the definitions, the etymology of America. Okay, let's go. I know I got Noah Webster's 1828 dictionary somewhere. Hold up, give me 1 second. I know I got it somewhere. If not, I'll pull it up. But we're about to get into this. All right, we're going to get into this. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. All right, cool. Yes, here we go. So the next two things we're going to do is this, or the next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the etymology of the word American. And then we're going to look at the definition of the word American. And we'll see exactly what happened, because they told you, you see, they have to let you know. But you have to be keen to the knowledge and know what these things mean in order to put two and two together. First things first, We're going to look into the etymology of the word American. Here we are. And if you don't know what the etymology of the word is, then go into, I think, my last video or the one before, and I broke down what an etymology is. But in summary, an etymology of a word is the foundation of the word in a particular era. All right, the foundation, the development of the word, the original meaning, the energy it was meant to carry. So here we go. American is a noun. And what is a noun, my brothers and sisters? What is a noun, my brothers and sisters? A noun is the name of an animal, place, or thing. I'm going to repeat that again. Let's go back to elementary school and junior high school and all these different, schools of brainwash. Okay? A noun is the name of an animal, person, place, or thing. Animal, person, place, or thing. Okay? American. So if it's applied to a person, who are the persons? Who are the people? We are the so-called Negro. Originally, hear that? Originally, one of the Aboriginal people. Now, I broke down that word Aboriginal. Even me, myself, I identified as an Aboriginal in the past. But you see, once you have grown into the knowledge, right, and you know the ledge, you're able to walk without falling over, without tipping over. I had to stop calling myself an Aboriginal because when you break down, I'm a wordsmith. When you break down the word Aboriginal, and the reason why I do these things is because in the beginning was the word, and the word became God, and the word was with God. So therefore the word became flesh. So when I speak, I'm speaking God. I'm giving you truth, righteous truth. So the word Aboriginal, when you look at the word and you dissect the word ab means to be away from, taken away from, the original. That's what Aboriginal means. Hence, you have the Australian Aboriginals. They were taken from the original. They came from the original. Okay? So I don't call myself that for that reason. Okay? But AKA Aboriginals, the original people of the Americas, discovered in the Western Hemisphere by whom? Europeans. Now, let me ask you a question. Can anybody tell me where Russia is? Can anybody tell me where Russia is? I'll wait. No, I'm literally going to wait until somebody put it in the chat. Where is Russia? I just told y'all in the build. Now, it seems like my Facebook crew is a little bit, taking a little more time. But where is Russia? Anybody, please tell me. Where is Russia? I'm not going to move until somebody posts it, man. Listen, we getting into this right now. Where's Russia at? Russia is in Europe and Asia. Thank you, goddess, Empress. But it's both. It's on both continents. That's why it's Euro. It's Eurasian. Okay, because parts of Russia is in Asia and some is in Europe. Okay, so but you are completely correct as well. If you just say Asia or you just say Europe, it is the same landmass. All right. It is the same landmass. All right. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Here we go. Why is all this important? Because I'm showing you what happened with paper genocide. I'm showing you what happened with paper genocide. Let's look at the etymology of the word American as a noun, the name of an animal, person, place, or thing. Originally, what's original? Primordial, the beginning. Nothing came before the original. You dig? Original, one of the Aboriginal, but I'm going to say one of the original, opposed to Aboriginal, peoples discovered in Western Hemisphere by Europeans. The original sense is now what? Native American. Now, that's very important in the etymology. Well, Chief, what do you mean by this? I'm going to show you exactly what it means. But when did the term native in its original sense become what it is today? That happened in 1765. 1765. When did Russia buy Alaska? When did the United States buy back Alaska? My brothers and sisters, put two and two together. I am giving you the puzzle. Hence the birth of what we call Native Americans today. But remember, what does it say in the etymology? The original sense is now Native American. We're going to dive a little deeper. We're going to dive a little deeper. Let's dive deeper. We're going deeper into this. Okay? We are going deeper into this. We are going to go to Noah Webster's 1828 dictionary now. We are still dealing with American. We are not diving into Native yet. Check this out. As you could see with the etymology, the word native goes into what's been originally. It did not change until 1765 in regards to a descendant of a European. Woo! This is beautiful. Check this out. American, Noah Webster's 1828 dictionary. A native of America. That word native right there is in its original sense, as per the etymology of the word native. Originally, we see that word there again, originally applied to who? The Aboriginals, the original people, or the copper-colored races found here by the Europeans, but now applied to what? The descendants of Europeans who did what? Born in America. That's how they became native. So now you may be asking yourself, well, Chief, how come they are the ones getting the casinos, and how come they are the ones getting the millions and millions of dollars every month or every year? Like I told you before, it is all a contract. It's a company. Those reservations are subsidiaries of that company. Oh. Okay. Alrighty then. But I'm showing you that American Indian and where they first came from, the first generation, Native Americans, they came from Alaska. They did not come straight from the Bering Strait into all of them. No, they came from Alaska. And they came on contracts. You dig? Let us go into the Census Bureau. Let us go into the Census Bureau. Y'all think this is a game? Y'all think it's a game, huh? No, I ain't playing no games with y'all, man. I'm not playing with y'all. Let us go. Check this out. And please, I'm not mad. I'm not shouting. That's just the passion. So I'm not going to apologize for my delivery. Let us get into this. The Census Bureau. In the Census Bureau, we're just going to look at, we're not going to deal with Black or African American. We know that's not who we are. So we're not even going to focus on that. But let us look at American Indian or Native, Alaska Native. Well, hold up, Chief, hold up. How is that the Census Bureau, up to this present day, still says American Indian or Alaska Native? You see, that is two different sets of people. The Alaska Natives are the first generation natives. And the ones you see today, they are the second, third, fourth, sixth, seventh generation. Now, some of you may ask, well, Chief, what is a generation? And I've broken that down before because people think a generation is hundreds and hundreds of years. No. A generation for a man is about 30 years. And a generation for a woman is about 20 to 25 years. That's all a generation is. So this, when you hear these people talking about, oh, we've been here for generations, ask them to specify. Because a generation could only be about 200 and something years, which is going to take us back exactly to where it all started in the 1700s. Don't let them play the games with you. You feel me? So American Indian is not the same as an Alaskan Native. Why didn't it say Native American opposed to American Indian? Especially when Obama dropped the name or the term American Indian and said Native. Why is that the census still has it as American Indian? Because American Indian has to stay on the books. And they added the Alaska Natives, which are actually all, the majority, over 90% of the Native Americans you see in all these reservations today, they came from Alaska. They came from Alaska. All right? Boom. Okay. I know I just, hold on for 1 second. I just closed the window I wasn't supposed to close just yet. Let me get back to that. Let me go to my history and get that. Okay, so now we got American. We got so we're gonna dive into a little more into Native right now. Let us get into Native. Native. So we looked at the etymology of American. We are going to look at the etymology of Native, and we are also going to look at the legal definition of Native. But before we do, we're going to look at American Indian from another perspective. All right, we're going to look at American from another perspective, and now we're going to look at that from a lawful perspective and see what it says an American is. Here we go. We're going to go to Cornell Law. Cornell Law is one of the universities that deals with, pretty much law and legal. Okay, so this is reputable. All right, check this out. American Indian law. You have what's an indigenous and the U.S. law. The term Indians. Now, hear what the term Indian means in law. You see, when people start talking all the nonsense, so Indians are from India, man, stop the nonsense, man. Because America is India superior. And I could go for maps and show you all over the maps where America was called India superior. Stop the nonsense. And when America was being called India superior, India was called Hindustan. It wasn't even called India. We got to stop allowing these people to indoctrinate our children. And that's why these boarding schools were created that transformed into the school system that we have today. Okay? Because we got our children being educated by colonizers, by migrants, and they're not going to teach them the truth. So now we are going in law. We are going in law. I'm not going by your opinions. I'm not going by your debates. I'm going in law. What does it say in U.S. law? Can anybody see the term U.S. law in there for me, please? If you see the term, in fact, let me bring that up some more, because this is not a game, man, because y'all getting me hype. Can anybody see where it says in U.S. law? If you could see that, go ahead and type some 9s in the chat for me, please. Type some 9s. We're going to stop playing these games with everybody. Everybody. Type some 9s in the chat real quick, so I could proceed. Thank you. In U.S. law, it didn't say in the opinion of Native Americans. It didn't say in the opinions of so-called black people. No, it didn't say none of that. It said in U.S. law, Indians refer generally to the indigenous peoples of North American continent at the time of European colonization. It also says Alaska Natives and Native Hawaiians refer to peoples who are indigenous to the areas occupied those named states. It says Alaska Natives and Native Hawaiians. Those people are not they're not Indians. They are natives. Okay. Y'all think it's a game, huh? All right. Now we are going to get into the term native. Native. All right. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Give me 1 second, please. I might be a little all over the place, but I promise you, we getting there. Okay, it's gonna all come together. It's gonna all come together because I'm about to set this up on fire. Watch. Native. Check this out. Native. I'm gonna show you what native means in correlation, okay, in coherence with the etymology of the word of American Indian, because American Indian, the etymology says what? Originally applied to the aboriginals, aka original people of the Americas. Native in its original sense. In its original sense, yes, we are native. But since 1765, that term, it evolved to mean to be born, not inborn. Here's the difference. We going back to native when native truly meant original. 14th century. Because guess what? These people were not here in the 14th century. Natural, what it says, natural, inborn, hereditary, connected with something in a natural way. They are not connected to the land in a natural way. They're connected to the land through paper genocide. They're connected to the land through corporations. Oh my goodness. I could drop the mic and leave right now. And I dare any scholar to come test me on this. I don't need all the extra stuff, all your degrees and all your bachelors and I don't need none of that. Basic common sense. A little bit of connecting the dots, and you are going to get it. Okay? And you are going to get it. Hold on for 1 second. Why just keep kicking me off, man? All right? So let us read this again. Native, in its original sense, 14th century. Okay? Synonymous with original. Synonymous with American Indian. You see, it goes hand in hand. So, and that's why I tell people, when we say certain things, we should not just denounce things. You see, when I use the word native, I add original to it. When I use the word indigenous, I add the word original to it. Because it's all trickery. It's word spells. They're confusing our people mentally. So when they say they are indigenous, yes, they are indigenous. But which one? Only born indigenous, not original indigenous. Native, natural, we, the so-called Negroes, are the natural people of the land. Inborn, hereditary, meaning our birthright, our inheritance. That's why when I created and wrote the 10 Commandments for the American Indians, I make sure I add it in there that it's our inheritance, it's our birthright. See, I know what I'm doing because I'm guided. Connected with something in a natural way. In other words, de jure, from the soil, not on paper, not through paper genocide, not through the pen. That's why the pen is mightier than the sword. We lost our birthright through the pen. Paper genocide. We even go further. To be born, related to gig near begets. Begotten. Give birth. With derivatives referring to procreation and familial and tribal groups. Y'all gonna learn. Y'all gonna learn. Okay, so what we're gonna do now? Now it says Native American in reference to the Aboriginal peoples of the Americas, attested of what? The 1900 as the name of the journal devoted to the Indian education. You see how it was switched to the education? Y'all think I'm making this up? I'm not making it up. And then it says what? In the early 1970s, activist Indians began calling themselves natives. Why? Because they are not the original Indians. But what does it say? Native American in reference to Aboriginal, the original in reference. You know what? I'm going to make reference to such and such. But is it the same? No, it's not. It's a reference of the original peoples of the Americas, but native was attested when? In the 1900s. As the name of a journal devoted to Indian education. It was all done through the educational system. Let us proceed. Let us proceed. Woo! Boy, oh, let me tell y'all something, man. Don't play with me. Don't play with me, man. Don't play with me. All right? Don't play with me. Let us proceed. I'm telling y'all now, we are going to go now into another legal dictionary, Black's Law Dictionary, to see what native means. Let us go. Let us dive deeper. We're not gonna talk about those roles and all the roles and no, we're not gonna deal with that. That's paper genocide. That's not what determines who an American Indian is. Okay, that's coming from a concept of the BIA, which is a corporation, a subsidiary of the United States Corporation. Okay, let us rock. Now, this is Black's Law Dictionary. Native. Let's read this. What does it say? A natural born. Oh my goodness. Woo, I'm about to get up and run right now. What does it say? In law. You see, we showed everything. Etymology of native, it goes back into what? Original. It's not so. It's connected to American Indian. 14th century. Now let us go look at the definition now of native in law from the Black's Law Dictionary. What does it say? A natural born subject or a citizen, a disseisin by birth, one who owes his domicile or citizenship to the fact of his birth within the country referred to. Now you see the difference? You see the difference? This identity or the term of native, as per Black's Law Dictionary, is exactly who the Native Americans are. Okay. What we're going to do now, we're going to go back to Google, and I'm going to show you everything. Once more. Etymology of indigenous. Check this out. I've shown you this before, but just for the purpose of this lesson, I'm also going to kind of tie that in and ask you to be very mindful when you say that you're indigenous. You have to add original to it. Check this out. What does it say indigenous means with the etymology? It says born or originating in a particular place. Shut it down. So there's two types of indigenous people. That's why the UN does not differentiate and take it upon themselves to determine who an indigenous individual is. It clearly states in the declarations that someone who is indigenous, they leave it up to the person to identify themselves or determine who an indigenous individual is. Why? Because they know that the majority of Europeans are the ones out here calling themselves indigenous. And we out here thinking we Africans. I tell you, man, this is sad, man. This is sad. It is absolutely pathetic. Okay? It's pathetic. So, as you could see, born, not as in original native, but born as in the definition from Black's Law Dictionary, a subject of the United States, compared to an originating American Indian, the Negro of America, is two different people. Two complete different people. And I'm showing you all this in law and the etymology of the words. I showed you about the census already. What else do we have to cover? Before we get into all that, let me see what else I got to show you. All right, boom. Okay. It says all your double speak does not accomplish anything you do. leave it. Did your family or your ancestors leave it? Do you still feel the generational trauma? Okay, I'm not sure what Christian C is asking. He says, I'm not native Indian. I'm not native Indian or of a what? Amishable or Abiju as taught from the elders. Well, listen, whoever you are, Christian, whoever you are, listen, you know, I don't know who you are. I don't know what you are, you know, but I'm talking to my people. And when I say I'm talking to my people right now, I'm talking about the so-called Negroes, the so-called black people of the Americas. That's who I'm talking to. And if that's not you, then this does not, it does not apply to you. So you could talk about all type of names your elders tell you, because even the Navajo is the biggest, literally the biggest Native American group in the US. And they're from Alaska. They're from Siberia. They're not Americans. So we already know the games that y'all play. So I just hope you're not one of those so-called Native Americans trying to come play yourself talking about you don't know what names Indian and Native, but you are Ojibwa and you are, you know, stop the nonsense. All right. We're not going to get into that. Okay. Because I already know you could fool my people, but you can't fool me. You did? All right. Thank you. All right. So we're going to get into this. And you know, first of all, we cannot tell you, for instance, you talk about, oh, well, we cannot tell people are not going to tell who we know who you are. We know who you are. The U.S. government know who you are. It's just a matter of time before they shut everything down, because trust me, we coming for ours. We coming to take back the throne. We coming to take back our birthright. Y'all think y'all was going to play the game forever? It's not going to work. I just explained to you everything that happened and how it happened. It happened through a corporation. And I've already broke it down. The United States is a corporation, and all its subsidiaries, including the native reservations, they are all under the corporation. All the casinos, you guys are all the same people. You are descendants of Europeans, Eurasians that took our place. And there's a reason for that, which I'm about to get into right now. Why don't you answer the question? Why don't you guys look like the same people they used to show that was the first Native Indians that have the dark skin complexion? Almost the same complexion as the Negro. But they had to look darker because they don't have that original copper tone. Come on, man. Don't even come on here. This is not the platform for that. I'm telling you, because I'll eat you up. All right. Now let me explain something to y'all. There's a reason why American Indians have all these admixtures. I'm going to explain this to you. Why do you think Native Americans don't have all these admixtures? Because nobody came in and mixed with them. All the people you hear about mixing with the indigenous people and mixing with the Indians, how come these Native Americans, they're not mixed in? We hear about all these Africans that came and mixed in with the American Indians. How come all these Native Americans you see today, they're not mixed in? They're only mixed in with their original cousins. That's why they look more Caucasian now more than anything else. My brothers and sisters, let me tell you why we have so many admixtures. Because since we were the original people, you will find all these different admixtures in our DNA, whether it's Caucasian, whether it's a Caucasian, whether it's a so-called African, whether it's a so-called Eurasian, you will find it because they came in and mixed in with our people. That's why we have all these admixtures, because we are the originals. Don't let them fool you. So when you do all the DNA and oh, well, you have this percentage, that percent, and that percent, and that percent. And then when you go to a Native American, oh, they're 90-something%, is because, okay, they were sleeping with their own people. Let me break some things down for y'all, man. Okay? Man, we're gonna break this down. Let me continue with my notes. So and like I said, I'm gonna give again credit to Chief Maurice Black Wolf. All right, appreciate him doing the first rendition of this. Now, there's a difference between a tribe and a clan. I'm gonna break this down to y'all to show you how these people came into power. Our people are a tribal people. Okay, our people are a tribal people. Here's the difference between a tribe and a clan. The tribe is a collective of clans, and a clan is equivalent to a group of people of whether it's family, blood, or similar ideologies. That's a clan. So with that being said, what are we going to do? We are going to look at the etymology of, or the meaning of the word clan. Let us look at the definition of the word clan first, the meaning. Well, Christine, you said you were not trying to be disruptive. You could never be disruptive. I promise you that. Because my energy can't be disrupted. My truth and our truth and the truth of the Americas cannot be disrupted. You know what's going to be disrupted? Your lies. Your illusion of who you are is going to be disrupted. And I'm not here to hate you. I'm just here to show you the truth. So you was talking about it's not making sense, but I'm showing you all the records and I'm showing you all the proof and I'm showing you the chronology of the timeline. So I'm not here to hate you. This is not what I'm here to do. I'm not mad at you. I totally get it. Y'all went through something in Europe, the Black Plague, where your people, they were eating each other. Okay, they were starving to death. They were eating feces. I get it. Because of the Black Plague, you had to do what you had to do to survive. Even in your own words, you said you came from Siberia. At what part of this build or this lesson did I tell a lie? What part of it is confusing you? What part of it is not making sense? When in your own words, you said that you came from Siberia. The only thing I challenged was the timeline. Because it can be challenged, and it is challenged. It is being challenged. Because I know exactly when y'all came. You did not come 15,000 years ago, when in the Bible, supposedly the world is only 6,000 years old. You feel me? So I'm just letting that individual know. I'm not mad at you. I know it was a game of survival. And y'all have to come from Europe and do what y'all have to do. I get it. I totally get it. But don't step on our land and try to demonize us for who we are. And we know we are. And we know who you. In fact, we know that you know who we are. For those of you who are a little bit confused, I did a video with the Cherokee Nation. I don't know if a lot of you remember that. And I had him so tight-tongued. His tongue was so tied that he told the truth. Well, you know, my great-grandmother, if she were to take her hair and pass a hot comb in it, she would look like a black native of Oklahoma. But what you mean, a black woman from Oklahoma? Straightening your hair doesn't change your complexion. So basically, he was saying that his great-grandmother was a so-called black woman. Y'all better stop playing, man. Stop playing with me. I've done my due diligence. All right, let's proceed. Let us go into clan right now. Clan. That's what I want to get into. Because I want to explain the difference to you between clan and tribe. All right? Let us get into this. Clan. It's just a matter of time before the United States starts telling the truth, because they have to. They have to. Because we are in the Jubilee and they have to free the original people of the land. But I did videos on that, so I'm not even going to touch that right now. All right, let's go. Clan. What does clan means in terms of a definition? As per a definition, clan means a group of close-knit and interrelated families, especially associated with families in the Scottish Highlands. Okay? Now, they're taking it back to Scotland, but we had our own clans. And mind you, the original clans of Scotland, they were the original so-called black people of Scotland. Because King James, King Charles, all of them were people of color. And I got the proof. Okay? Harriet Tubman was a Stuart, and she was from the Stuart clan. The original Irish people who came here, they were people of color. And our people intermarried with these people. I'm going to break down these things for y'all right now. So that's what the definition of clan means. Let us move further. Let us go look at the etymology of the word clan, because you see the etymology give a little more detail than the definition. Okay? All righty. And like I told y'all before, go to the website www.myniji.com and pick up your book, Gene Ancestry Evaluation. I broke it down, the history of the Americas as the firstborn, and then who came here in 1492, breaking down King Charles and King James in their own books, in their own biographies, describing themselves as black people. And I also showed you all the nobles that came here, and they described themselves as being black, brown, in complexion, sanguine, all of that. Brunette, even blonde. People think blonde is Caucasian. No, blonde is brown skin. Okay? So get the book, Gene Ancestry Evaluation. Go to the site, get this. Because I'm telling you, this is gonna be your Bible. Because I'm also breaking down the Bible in here. All right? All of that is in the book. Let us proceed. We are now going to go into the etymology of the word clan. Clan. Here we are. Clan. What does it say? A family, a tribe, especially among the Highlands of Scotland, a form of social organization consisting of tribe holding land in common under leadership of a chieftain, and that was earlier in the 15th century. Family, stock, offspring, akin, etc., 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 etc. Now, why is this important? This is very important because it goes back into our history and our culture, and that's why I keep telling y'all, stop confusing yourself with these Israelites in the Bible. The Israelites in the Bible, okay, are Europeans. Oh, I don't know if y'all are ready for this, but they are Europeans coming from the line of Abraham, the ones that were sleeping with their brothers and their sisters. Okay, the new Adam, because it begs the question, if there was only Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel, and Cain killed Abel, where did the rest of the people come from? Furthermore, if Cain killed Abel, and then the God of the Bible came and said, listen, I'm going to banish you from the garden. And when he left, when you leave, Cain is saying, listen, man, I don't want to be killed by the rest of the people in the world. So the God of the Bible put a mark on him. So where the rest of the people at? And then when he left, he went into the land of Nod, and he found his wife. Where did this mysterious woman come from? Where did she come from? And then the God of the Bible killed everybody on earth except Noah, his wife, his son, his 3 sons, and the 3 wives. 8 people. So that means to repopulate the earth, sisters had to sleep with brothers, brothers had to sleep with sisters, and cousins and cousins and cousins. That is not our culture. Okay? That's a European culture. I don't know if a lot of you are ready for this, but let me explain to you what our culture was and why we have so much admixture. Why we have so much admixture. Let me break it down for y'all. In our culture, once you're a part of a clan is a close-knit family or group of people. We even practice it today. If you go to your boy's house and you and your boy, you're tight, and he have his sister, even if his sister like you, what you say? Yo, no, sis. I can't, your brother, that's my dog. That is our culture. We still practice it today. Well, some people have lost some of the morals, but you see what I'm saying? That is part of our culture. The clans were not allowed to sleep with clans. Well, Chief, how can you prove that? I could also prove it with the Iroquois Confederacy Constitution. It's in there. Clans were not supposed to intermarry. So what happened was, when all these migrants came here, we started intermarrying these people. That's how these people got into the families, into the clans, into the tribes. That's how it happened. So that's why we have all these admixtures. You feel me? That's why we have all these admixtures, my brothers and sisters. Because we were not allowed to sleep with clans. The majority of us all over the Americas, I promise you, some of us are so related you don't even know. Why do you think when a lot of times a lot of us get into relationships, we can't get along? Because we're literally blood. We just don't know because we were displaced. And it's all facts. Okay? And that was and that was just part of the culture. So we did that. We intermarried with even a lot of these celebrities still do it. The so-called black celebrities, go look at the majority of their wives. All interracial for the most part, over 98% of them. Because they are still maintaining the culture. Some may say, well, oh, you know what? It might be because, oh, well, they don't love the sisters. No, that wasn't the culture. It had nothing to do with that. No, we could look at it from that perspective, but that's not what it was. You feel me? So that's the reason why these people became American Indians. And that's why their blood, it's in their blood. We did not become American Indians because of them. No, they became American Indians because of us. And they're not American Indians. They only have our blood in them. There's only one American Indian, and that's the so-called Negroes of the Americas. Facts over feelings. So let me continue with my notes. So the large admixture is from the South Asian, the Western Asian, the Eurasian, the Africans, etc. Okay, that's why. And it did not happen because we came here on millions and millions of us came here on slave ships. No. Because our people, part of the culture, because we were so separated, we could not sleep with our own clan. So we started intermarrying the other clans of people who came here, the migrants. That's why it happened. That's why you'll find in our DNA all these admixtures. And you will not find that in the Native American. But yet still, history will teach you that other people came and mixed in with the Native Americans. Oh, so somebody's telling a lie. Somebody's telling a lie. Okay? And I promise you, I'm not asking you to believe me because they want you to believe them. In the word believe is the word lie. Okay? So part of the reason is the Ku Klux Klan. The Ku Klux Klan started fighting and going up against and warring against the original clan of the Americas. Simply reason because we were intermarrying their women. Our people were intermarrying their women. Because once again, our clans were not allowed to sleep with their own clans. So who was they going to procreate with? Keep that in mind. So when we talk about the Confederate flags, okay, they're talking about the Confederate flag. They're talking about with, we should be afraid of the Confederate. It's racist. No, the Confederate flag belongs to our people. And that's facts. Okay? The Confederate flag belongs to our people. And that's facts. Keep that in mind. Let us proceed. When the Ku Klux Klan started going up against our people, all right, it was a rebellion against or a revolt against, like I said, our clans mixing with their clans. And that was the problem because they thought that mixing with our people, it would diminish their blood. It would diminish their people. All right. And that was the main reason why the clan evolved. Because of that interracial thing that was being promoted, whether it was with Caucasians, whether it was with Eurasians, whether it was with Africans, it doesn't matter who it was with. Any mix became an admixture. Okay. So yes, so pretty much there's no, I'm just going to keep it real. There's no pure American Indian right now. There's no pure, because we are literally, all those different admixtures came in and mixed in with our blood. It doesn't negate the fact that we are the original, but our blood is not 100%. Our DNA is not 100%. And anybody who thinks that is a fool, because of all the migration. And that's why when you go into your family reunions, a family reunion was another gathering of the clans. Another gathering of the clans. So when you go to the family reunions, you start seeing family members, you starting to think, hold up, I didn't know my great-great-great-grandmother was Caucasian. How is that my great-great-grand auntie looked like she Asian? That is because of that. That's why it happened. So that admixture is crazy. But don't let that fool you. We are still the original people of this land. Okay? All right. Let me I'm about to conclude in a minute. And like I said before, in the book, I'm showing proof and all that America being the firstborn. So it was the first one from the primordial waters. Okay, we are the original people of this land. And just to reiterate, we are the West Indians. And yes, Indian is indeed our identity. Okay, and America is the firstborn. Let me go ahead. And we already touched on native, and we already broke that down. We already broke all of that down. We already broke down when they came into the Americas. They came from Russia, all right? And even in their own words, I'm just kind of going through my notes because I'm about to wrap this up. Okay, here's another thing. Let me tell you why the Native Americans, which I kind of touched on earlier, but I'm going to kind of like go a little bit more in detail. This is the reason why, to kind of further expound, the reason why Native Americans have the casinos and they get the funds, the millions of dollars that they get. It is because they are all Europeans. It is literally a way to what we call money laundering. Okay, it's literally a form of money laundering because they are giving the money to the Native Americans that go back to their same people. They're all one people. Okay, to make it seem that it's somebody different. It's not. They're all Europeans. Well, how can you prove that? It's very simple. Even Native Americans, in their own words, they say that they are from Siberia. Where's Siberia? Siberia is in Russia. Where's Russia? Russia is in Europe. They are all Europeans. My brothers and sisters, it is all part of a big game. And that is the reason why they will not give us our sovereignty. You know why they will not give us our sovereignty voluntarily like they would give it to the Native Americans? They gave it to the Native Americans because they are their people. If the Native Americans are sovereign, then the other Caucasian people are sovereign as well because they are the same people. They are the same people. So it would be a conflict of interest to give the original people, the so-called Negro, let them be sovereign voluntarily. They will not do it. That's why it's imperative that we unite. There's a reason why I'm going through all of this. It's a reason. So it's money laundering, taxing the people to death. You feel me? Giving them all the money when it's actually coming back to one big pot. It's going back to the federal government. It's going back to the Bureau of Indian Affairs. What is the United States? The United States is a federal corporation. As per Title 28, Section 3002, subsection 15, capital A. Stay on message, my brothers and sisters. This is about our birthright. This is about our identity. Okay? And that's why, once again, the U.S. will make it hard for us to become sovereign, like the sovereign people that we are. But it's easy to give it to the Native Americans, making you think under the pretense that they're the original people. No, they are the first nation, the first migrants. the first generation of migrants to come into the Americas. But don't get it twisted. This is not Native American country. It's Indian country. Okay? Even the Mexicans of today. The Mexicans of today are also an admixture of the Spaniards that came in 1492. But they have more of a connection with us, the original people. Okay? That's why so-called black people and Mexicans are the ones that's literally getting it. And so-called, Spaniards or, so-called Puerto Ricans, because even the Puerto Ricans you see today, they're not the original Puerto Ricans. The original Puerto Ricans, Boricua, Taino people are dark-skinned people. They are still an admixture, dealing with the Eurasians, dealing with the Europeans, and all that. The only difference is the reason why they couldn't water us down is because we are the original. The original could never be watered down. It could be a little bit diluted, but it would never be watered down. So when you see the first concept of the first generation Native Americans with all the dark skin, and all of a sudden they look so different now, is because they had to teach them. Listen, you cannot marry back into the so-called Negro. You have to marry forward into the Eurasian. So we could start changing the dynamics of what the first generation Native look like to what they look like right now. So when you go look at the Navajo chief, or you look at the Cherokee chief and all these Choctaw chiefs, they look straight out either European or straight out Asian. I just broke this down to you. Okay? Okay, I went through that. Getting okay, I just broke down why they're getting all the money. You're Russia. Okay, I just did that. I just spoke on that, and all that happened, of course, because of paper genocide. All right, we did not lose any physical wars. It was done with the word, and that's why they tell you the word is mightier than the sword. Now let me show you something real quick. All right, we did that. Close that out. All right, Google. Boom. Let me show you that word right there. I'm going to show you this word. Sword or swords. Okay, cool. Let me go ahead and share my screen. I'm about to wrap this up. All right, Lineage, give me 1 second. I'm almost done. Check this out. You see this word, sword? And we always hear the term. The pen is mightier than the sword. The pen is mightier than the sword. Now, can anybody tell me what else do you see in the word sword? Can anybody tell me? Post it in the comment. What do you see in the word sword or swords? Can anybody tell me? What word do you see in the word sword or swords? If you can't see it, I'll tell you. Thank you, my sister Valerie. Word and words. That is the reason why they told you the pen is mightier than the sword. Because in the word sword is the word words or word. You know why? Because the sword killed the words on paper. It was done on paper genocide. That became the sword. It became the word. It became the words. Because the sword couldn't kill us. We are mighty indigenous American Indians. They couldn't win that physical war. So they had to trick us with the words, the trickery of the words. That's why when they pull you into the courts, it's all word spell. Casting spells. They summon you into the court. A summon is a spell. Y'all think this is a game? These people studied us, man. It's magic they're using on us. That's why I'm here to break it down to you and for you to avoid these spells. Go to the website. You'll see a book I just wrote on words and the magic and the magi. We are magi's, but we lost our ability to be magicians. You dig? Keep that in mind. So what they did was they started teaching the Eurasians and the Europeans to come here and start having babies, have multiple babies, while they were teaching our people to have abortions and birth control. You see, the art of war. And the further back you go into our history, you'll realize that our men, because remember, we had a bigger population all over the world. There was more women than men. So you realize that polygamy was a big thing. Why? Because we were building our clans. The further back you go into antiquity, go look it up for yourself. You'll realize that the bigger the family was, the more livestock they had, the more wealthy they were. You get that? The more wealthy they were. So mama, great-grandmama, and the great-great-grandmother, they were having 10, 11, 9, 20 children. It was part of the culture. You see what I'm saying? The women, they understood and overstood the purpose. So it was no biggie that a man could go have children and plant the seeds. That's what we are supposed to do. Be fruitful and multiply. But all women to this day, they are brainwashed. They are Negropeans. They are Europeans. You see what I'm saying? Mentally. Because they did not get the memo. So we are not producing the way we were supposed to and the way we are supposed to. But anyway, that's another story. A lot of my sisters are not going to get this. Y'all are not going to get that. So that's what it is. So because of these companies, we being the original beneficiary of this land, now the Europeans are now the beneficiary, and then the so-called Native Americans are the beneficiary via the BIA, Bureau of Indian Affairs. All right. This is the last page. I just spoke on everything here about polygamy. All right. That's determined the wealth of the family, the size of the family. Okay. But y'all lost it. The less children we started having, the more broke we became, the more poor we became. Y'all could hate this fact if y'all want, but your emotions doesn't negate that truth. But y'all gonna learn though. It's okay. We're going to go back to it because that's what we're supposed to do. That's the way it was meant to be. Okay? Whether it was the woman, having, children with other men because her husband couldn't have it, or whatever the case was, the bottom line was we were supposed to procreate and build. Let us move forward. I spoke on that already. Americans died. All right. The last thing I'm going to talk about, and like I said, much respect to Chief Maurice Black Wolf. Okay, it was said that in the history books that over 90% of the Native Americans died from smallpox. let me go pull that up for y'all. All right, give me 1 second, please. Let me go pull that up because they keep playing. Let me see. Man, let me open up your mind to some things, man. Check this out. Hold up for 1 second. Close that out. And then we're gonna I want to share, man. Present. Like share my screen. That's what I want to do. And this is my final piece in terms of the presentation for today. Okay? I'm gonna shut it down with this. Check it out. Here we are. According to historical estimates, right? According to historical estimates, around 90% of Native Americans died from disease brought by European colonizers, primarily due to their lack of immunity to illnesses like smallpox, measles, influenza, which devastated indigenous populations upon contact with Europeans. Now, I'm going to read that again because I want it to sink into your heads. My people are a stiff-necked people. My people, listen to your brother today as I talk to you. Okay? Now, over 90% of Native Americans died from diseases brought by European colonizers, primarily due to the lack of immunity to illnesses such as smallpox, etc., etc., etc. Let's break this down. Let your brother Chief break this down to you, man. Let me break that down to you. Check this out. Now, let's think about this from a logical standpoint. And I'm going to be asking a couple of questions because, of course, the questions are rhetorical, but it's okay. I'm still going to ask them anyway. Over 90% of the Native Americans died because of those diseases, because of the immunity, right? Lack of immunity. Check this out. Two things are happening here. Because they know, now it's all trickery, okay? Because they know that the Native Americans are the least in number, they are the majority. They came up with that scheme to tell you that they died. Over 90% of them died. That's why they had to reserve them and put them on a reservation. But no, the reservation is the subsidy, is part of the companies. It is all part of the business. Okay, it's all part of the business of the United States, of the federal government, of the Eurasians, of the Europeans. Okay, it is all part of the business. So that was the first trick, to make you think that 90% of them died out. So you'll be like, oh, well, yeah, they killed 90% of them. So those that are there, no, that's not true. Let us go into another, how I'm going to debunk that nonsense for you. Check this out. I'm going to ask a question. Where is Siberia? Please answer that question for me, please. I'm about to wrap this up. Where is Siberia? Particularly, not the continent, but the country. Where is Siberia? In what country is Siberia? In Russia. Thank you. I appreciate that. Now, I'm going to ask another question, part 2 of the question. Where is Russia? What continent is Russia in? We almost done. We almost done. That's that after this point right here, I'm done. Europe. Thank you. So let's go back. And Asia. Thank you. So let's go back to what his story has told us. Over 90% of these Native Americans died because of diseases brought in by whom? By the Europeans, because they were not immune. Well, hold up. If they themselves are Europeans, based on their own telling, because they came from Siberia, they told you that, how can they be immune or not be immune to the disease that their own people brought? You know who was dying from these diseases? The so-called Negro, the real Native Americans, because that disease was not in the Americas. It was affecting us. And furthermore, we were tackling that with indigenous bush remedies. Oh, you see, you got to think. How can the disease of your people be killing you, but the disease is already in you? You see how it doesn't add up? So I gave you 2 different perspectives of why this just does not make any sense. And because it's not making sense, it's not making dollars. And because we are not making dollars, we're struggling right now. But let us make some sense right now, because I want us to make the dollars. Because we got to get back and take back what's ours. You feel me? So, once again, they told us that over 90% of the Native Americans dies. I'll tell you why. 2 reasons. Number 1 is because they are the minority. So they had to give you a logical, so to speak, okay, reason why they are the minority. from their perspective. Okay? And so that it will be okay with all the so-called Negroes who think they're from Africa, that their birthright and their inheritance and their money and everything is being given to somebody else. It'll be okay for them. But you know what? Yours will be welfare. Yours will be the food stamps. When the truth is, the casinos and all that is ours. The millions and millions is ours. In fact, not even the United States government is supposed to be governing us. Period. That was reason number one. And it was all done through the educational system. Reason number two, they, in their own words, they admit that they came from Europe. So how can the European disease that your people, same DNA, kill you, but it's not killing them? It's not killing the Europeans, but it's not, no, you see, no, somebody's telling a lie. So my brothers and sisters, in conclusion, what is the purpose of all of this? We were romanticized, okay, by this educational system to think that we are Africans. We were romanticized by this educational system to think that the Native Americans are the original people and they are the American Indians. They are not. Because I'm about to conclude right now. Okay? Our story was rewritten and it was taught to us from a perspective of the colonizer. Bottom line, point blank, period. Okay? Our children should not be able to be taken by any CPS agent. Those people are foreign migrants. No federal government should be able to come take your children if you are a so-called Black, African-American, Negro, colored, all the different names they call us of the Americas. They have no jurisdiction. But do you know that? That's why it's imperative that we come together. Everybody ain't going to get this. And it's okay. Everybody don't have to get it. But I'm here to stand on the shoulders of my ancestors. I'm here to stand on the shoulders of the ancestors whose complexion were this: copper, brown, cinnamon, brunette, blonde. This is what blonde looked like, brown. Don't let them trick you with the word spells. Go look up the etymology of the word brown and brunette. And I've already shown you what red Indian looks like. All right. Oh, self-preservation assignment to start business, brother, sister. If I'm not sure if you're male or female, so I don't want to disrespect. Right. I don't know if you're a man or a woman. I already have all of that in place. Like I told you, I got everything in place. I just need my people. That's it. Okay. So I'm about to get out of here. Where we go? I'm about to get out of here. Don't forget to go to the website, www.myniji.com. And trust me, if you don't get any other book, all the books are powerful. But this book right here, you want to get this. Gene insists to re-evaluation. All right. And in the back, I could read what's in the back. All right. The world is a huge illusion. What if everything you were taught was a lie? History, religion, even the God you serve. No one has dared to question and even challenge the history and religion in such a way, in such a bold way within the last 500 years. And I could stand on this. No one has dared to question religion and history the way that I have in the past 500 years in a book. Anybody try and prove me wrong. This is one of a kind book. It will make you question everything you were taught. One man on a mission to free the world from mental slavery. The truth has never been told like this before. Gene insists to reevaluation. Go to the website, get your copies today. I want to thank y'all for being a part of this build. I love y'all, man. When I tell you I love my people, I love my people. And guess what? It doesn't matter what the conditions are. You see what I'm saying? I love my people. You feel me? Regardless of what the reservations or the conditions are, I love you. Because we are a tarnished people. We are a hurt people. We are a damaged people. But I'm here to make my people wholesome. I'm here to give my people favor from our righteous ancestors. I'm here to uplift my people. I'm here to bring my people together. I'm here to make my people, let them know that we need to stand up as one. Yes, we may be many clans, but let's be one. You dig? It's our time. Don't allow fear to get in your way. Fear is the illusion, fear, false illusion appearing real. You feel me? As time goes by, the more we push things to a side, the more we procrastinate, the harder it's going to get for us. Because I did a video yesterday and explained all of that to you. Mother Nature is fighting back, and she's going to fight anybody in the way. It doesn't matter what you look like. But America is not going to be great again until the original people are back on the throne. And the trumpet has sounded. The Jubilee is in play. It's time to get back on the throne. But it has to be the righteous ones. Because we are the only ones that could bring balance back to the world. Why? Because we are the world. We are the original people. We are the first people. We are the firstborn. Not even Africa could claim that, because Africans came from us. You feel me? But first it starts here. You have to know that you are the Lord. You have to know that you are the lady of this land. And then it manifests with your words. And then put it down on paper. Hence the pen becomes mightier than the sword. My email is always in the link below, man. Always in the link below. Let's do this. Let's build. Let's come together. You see? We cannot wait for anybody to come save us. Nobody's saving us. We are the ones that got to tell our story. We are the ones that got to rewrite our story. We are the ones. And when we step up, we could look at them in their faces and say, listen, we know who we are. And we know that you know who we are. We are here to take back our rightful place. There's only one American. And you are only an American via us, the womb of our women. Period. So honor and respect your mothers and fathers. And I state the claim. All right? Before I go, don't believe anything that I just told you in this video. Please don't believe anything I just told you in this video. Don't believe me. Because in the word believe is the word lie. In any video, if I ask you to believe me, I'm lying to you. Whether it's intentionally or I just because of ignorance. And if I've asked you to believe me in the past, it's because I was ignorant, not because I lied to you intentionally. Okay? My heart is always forever going to be pure. With love for my people. In their lowest state to their highest vibration. I want to meet them where they're at. If they're in their lowest state, I want to pick them up. If they're in the highest state, I want to walk with them as well. I'm not here to lead nobody. I'm here to walk with you. Let's lead each other. Because I'm in a position to bring certain knowledge, to put certain things together. Yes, we could assign responsibilities. But I'm not above you. You're not above me. Let's move forward as one. As one. And that's what I'm about. That's what I'm for. So like I said, I got things in place. Send me an email. Let's do this. You enjoy the rest of your 24. Have an amazing 24. Be blissful always and never be less. Honor our ancestors so that our days, not our days, but our life could be longer. We don't want to be in the days. We've been in the days for too long. We got to give that up so that our life will be longer. All right. And I gave you guys the American Indian commandments. I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to close with this. I know I got it somewhere. Give me 1 second, please. All right. I created that. And what I did was, in fact, well, I'm not going to tell you what I did, but when it happens, I'll let you know. So let me see if I have it here. Give me 1 second. Let me go to that folder and look for commandments. Commandments. All right, here we go. I would like you, my brothers and sisters, to use these commandments and let's teach it to our people. We have to start having some type of foundation. Okay? We have to start having some type of foundation. And I'm going to share it with you right now. Okay? Let me go back to the screen and share this with you. And then we'll close on the 10 commandments. Let me see, window. Which one is it here? The 10 commandments. All right. Let me know if you could see the screen, please. I'm going to close out with the 10 commandments. Let me know if you could see the screen. Sister Valerie, please, somebody. I'm looking at Facebook right now. So, all right. Yes, I'm assuming you could see it right now. Let me know if you could see the screen. Somebody on Facebook, please. Anybody? Anyway, let us get into it. And this is in thank you, I appreciate that. This is in honor to our ancestors. I created this 10 commandments for our people, American Indians. All right, the 10 commandments for American Indians, Niji, and Niji means American Indian. Number 1, I am not Black or African American. Number 2, I honor all my American Indian ancestors so that my life will be longer. Number 3, I bring no harm to any American Indian. Number 4, I will not steal from another American Indian. Number 5, I love and honor my American Indian brothers and sisters as I love and honor myself. 6, I bear no false witness against another American Indian. Number 7, I am the keeper of my American Indian brothers and sisters. Number 8, I must uplift and protect all my American Indian brothers and sisters. Number 9, I am an American Indian by blood, birthright, and inheritance. Number 10, I am that I say that I am. These 10 commandments shall be taught to all American Indians. We are the Ongwe Hungwe. Ongwe Hungwe means original beings, as told to us within the Republic of the Iroquois, Ingo, Ingwe, Hungwe. And you're going to learn a little more about the Republic soon enough. Okay? I want to thank you once more for being a part of the build. And may the ancestors continue to guide you in your growth and protect you. All right? We'll talk soon. Much love. Your brother, Chief. All right? Take care.